2015 BMW 435i xDrive. It would be too easy to kick off this evaluation of the all-wheel drive BMW 435i xDrive coupe with the snarky quip about how the 3 and 4 Series lineups have ballooned to comically crowded levels, but then you already knew that. There are sedans that pretend to be coupes, wagons, hatchbacks that look like SUVs, and convertibles. This test is of a 4 Series coupe, an actual two-door, equipped with all-wheel drive and BMW's excellent turbocharged inline-six. We have described the rear-drive, 435i coupe as an illogical purchase redeemed by its lusty engine, and the 435i xDrive falls under the same header, only with a smidge more all-weather practicality in return for a slightly higher price. When xDrive comes to call, the notion that all-wheel drive actually nudges the 435i towards something above a mere 300 horsepower, rear-drive sports coupe might seem strange to fair-weather readers. But in Snowbelt states, all-wheel drive is a prerequisite for selling luxury cars. Jaguar recently went through the expense and trouble to retrofit its outgoing XF sedan with all-wheel drive to keep metal moving in the winter months, and the maker even added a WD to its F-Type sports car. Happily, as with all xDrive-equipped BMWs, the 435i torque biases to the rear axle, meaning that in the drive, the coupe handles much like its two-wheel drive counterpart. We noted 0.87 grams of grip on the skid pad with only mild understeer at the limit, and the chassis weight distribution makes the 435i a balanced answer on sinusoidal blacktop. And when it comes to straight-line shenanigans, hold on, xDrive's added traction adds bite to the 435i's launches, resulting in a blistering 4.5 second 0 to 60 mph time. In modern BMWs, automatic-equipped cars tend to be quicker than their stick-shift counterparts, and that is the case here. The only other 435i coupe we've tested came with a 6-speed manual transmission and rear-wheel drive, and this 8-speed automatic xDrive model thoroughly trounces it to 60 mph by 0.7 second. Objectively, then, it would seem as though the 435i is a high performer. Nearly 0.90 grams on the skid pad is nothing to sniff at, nor is 4.5 seconds to 60. The letdowns are a mediocre 184-foot stop from 70 mph, as well as the xDrive's on BMW-like top speed that's governed to 127 mph. Both results are attributable to BMW's fitment of economy-minded, all-season Pirelli tires. Paging old BMW. And as with most BMWs today, you, the driver, are somewhat removed from the action. Our test car came equipped with the $1,000 dynamic handling package, which brings adaptive suspension damping and BMW's infuriating variable sport steering option, which plays around with the steering ratio in unsatisfying ways. Intended to quicken the ratio at low speeds and dull it down at higher velocities, the funky steering instead makes the 435i twitchy in tight corners and annoying on the highway. We'd suggest skipping it for the more linear, but sadly still feedback-free, standard fixed-ratio electric steering rack. Motoring in the 435i is more a grand touring experience than a pulse-quickening one as in BMWs of yore. But even here, the 435i stumbles. On the freeway, wind whistles and rushes around the A-pillars, and a surprising amount of tire noise enters the cabin, quibbles we've also noted with the latest